A man who suffocated a suspected burglar while performing a citizen's arrest has been cleared of manslaughter. Nathan Smith, 38, knelt on 43-year-old Craig Wiltshire's back for 9 minutes in the early hours of November 20, 2019 after tackling him in the street. He refused to ease off even when the victim twice told him he could not breathe, telling him "I don't give a what you can and can't do." Mr. Wiltshire died in hospital on December 4, 2 weeks after he was apprehended. Smith denied wrongdoing, claiming he believed Mr. Wiltshire was pretending to be in distress so he would release him and he could escape. Mr. Wiltshire was believed to have been behind a string of thefts and break-ins in the Bristol suburb where Smith was employed as a live-in carer. Despite repeated complaints to the police, the thief was never caught and there was no active police investigation into the break-ins. A post-mortem found the victim had the sedative diazepam and the heroin substitute methadone in his system and a pre-existing heart condition. Smith said he did not know that Mr. Wiltshire was vulnerable to cardiorespiratory arrest, and that he did not know leaving someone in the prone position for a prolonged period of time was dangerous. On Wednesday, a jury at Bristol Crown Court cleared Smith of manslaughter after 4 hours and 7 minutes of deliberations. The prosecution had claimed Smith was angry with Mr. Wiltshire, and that he took the opportunity to punish him for his alleged crimes. Prosecutor James Ward cited insults hurled by Smith at the victim, including calling him a piece of st as proof he wanted to hurt him. "I was being loud so other people would come. I didn't want to shout help so he knew I needed help, and I wanted to make him think I was more in control than I was," Smith replied. He insisted he wasn't angry or trying to punish the victim, adding, "I just wanted the police to come and get him." Smith said Mr. Wiltshire had been reaching for his pockets, adding he feared he had a weapon on him. Kimberly Locke, a neighbor, said the community had been terrorized by the break-ins, and had extra locks fitted to her house, including a sliding bolt to her bedroom. An expert in forensic and legal medicine told the court he did not think that Smith's method of restraint, as a member of the public with no training, was inappropriate. Professor Jason Payne James added, "In terms of the persistence of the prone restraint, I believe that would have been inappropriate if police personnel had continued that for that length of time without moving or monitoring Mr. Wiltshire." But Professor Payne James agreed it was likely the victim would have survived if he had been sat up or rolled onto his back at the point he told Smith he could not breathe. Smith's employer Michael Crooks is also seen in the CCTV footage adding his weight to Mr. Wiltshire for a few minutes. His son Ben Crooks is seen kicking the prone man twice. They have both admitted a charge of common assault and were not charged with manslaughter. The jury was told to assume that Mr. Wiltshire was the man suspected of committing burglaries in the neighborhood over the previous weeks, and that the arrest was not a case of mistaken identity.